Okay, so hello and very good evening, everyone. We'll start with today's internship meeting. So we'll go in order of raised hand as always. So I will call all the names one by one. So first we have Rakshitha Kamara. So we'll start with your presentation.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, very good evening. Please turn your camera. Yeah, what is your topic of presentation?
Sir, my topic is about fundamental electronics, sir.
Okay, then.
Sir, can I proceed, sir?
Just wait a minute.
Okay, sir.
What is the title?
Fundamental electronics, sir.
Okay, please start.
Good evening, everyone. My topic is about fundamental electronics. As we know that nowadays electronics are the most important device that we can use in our laptops, mobile phones, and various systems that we are useful in day-to-day life. Today, we are going to see about what is meant by fundamental electronics and the importance of this and another things also. And coming to the content, at the end of this presentation, we can able to learn what is meant by fundamental electronics, how electronic devices used in MBOT and IoT systems, and the applications of electronic devices. In any devices, there is some advantages and disadvantages also. And also projects with fundamental electronics and basic one project example, that is PIR motion sensor, and the reference and the conclusion. And coming to the main part, what is meant by fundamental electronics? Electronics are the very small components that can use as a good output for every devices. As these can consume less power, we can use wide range of devices. Like the fundamental electronics are resistors, capacitors, diodes, LEDs, transistors, photoresistors, thermistors, and some electronic components that are embedded in a single chip called Arduino boards, Raspberry boards, and microcontrollers. Coming to the resistor can control the allowance of the electrons from one node to another node. It can able to allow the current only certain part only. And coming to the what is meant by capacitor. Capacitor can able to store the electronic charge with the help of this dielectric material. There are two plates here we can able to see. And coming to the diode. Diode, it has two nodes, that is anode and cathode. When the diode is present in the forward bias only, it can conduct the current. Otherwise, when it is in reverse bias, it does not connect the current. And LED. We are all familiar about LED also. We can use wide variety of applications in this LED. And what is meant by transistor? We can able to use transistor as a switch, as it has the three terminals: emitter, base, collector, and voltage regulator. It can able to regulate the voltage with a certain voltage of allowance. And photoresistor and thermistor. Thermistor can work with the help of the temperature and the resistance. As the resistance is inversely proportional to the temperature, it can works depends upon positive temperature coefficient and negative temperature coefficient. On Arduino boards, Raspberry boards, and microcontrollers, we can see this Raspberry, Arduino, and microcontrollers in our mobile and certain applications also. And coming to the part, electronic devices in embedded and IoT systems. What is meant by IoT means IoT, it is nothing but Internet of Things. As we know that smart cities, smart buses, smart homes, that are all connected with this IoT technology only. And coming to what is meant by embedded systems, it is nothing but it is combination of software and hardware combinations in a specific component. And the basic devices that can use this embedded system technology is Arduino board and mobile phones that we are using recently. And coming to the applications of electronic devices, we can use these electronic devices in wide variety of applications, but I mentioned only few of them. That is automobile industry, healthcare systems, robotics, digital watches, food industry, entertainment, and much more. Why can we use electronic devices in automobile industry means for engine purpose we can use this automobile industry electronic devices. And healthcare systems, as we are familiar that we can use x-rays, ECGs, EMGs, that are all made with these small electronic components only. And coming to the robotics, without any single electronics we can't able to construct a robot, right? And digital watches, we can use batteries, LEDs in our digital watches. These are also electronic components. Food industry, we can use electronic component for temperature control to store our food, like the refrigerators. And entertainment purpose, what is meant by entertainment? We can use our mobile phones and computers and MP3 audio players also, that are all made with this only small electronic devices. In any device, there are certain pros and cons, and these are some advantages and disadvantages regarding to the electronic devices. These electronic devices consumes less power, as we can refer in the first slide, and these are very small components. That's why it is easy to carry, and it can able to integrate on small chips also. As we know that these resistors, capacitors can available with low cost only, and the construction of this electronic devices are very easy. And coming to the cons, it needs more careful while using, because these are very small in size, right? So we can need to be careful. And in these electronic devices, only certain voltage can allow, so we can't use these small devices for large voltage requirement. And the lifetime is very less, and it also breaks easily due to its small size. And we can able to build some basic projects with this fundamental electronics. Some of them are NeoPixel Rainbow, LED dot matrix, rotary encoder, RTC alarm clock, LCD display, PIR motion sensor. I can take this PIR motion sensor as an example. What is PIR motion sensor means? It can detect the motion of a person or any moving object. Depending upon the temperature of the surroundings and the human being, it can able to detect whether the motion is initialized or ended. The basic principle of this PIR motion sensor is infrared rays. Here it is the basic view of the PIR sensor motion. And here it can able to see that the human being and the animal is in front of the motion sensor. It can able to detect these motions regarding to the temperature. Oh. Sir, is my program visible, sir?
No, it is not visible.
Sir, can you give me 2 minutes time, sir?
Okay, make it quick.
Sir, now it is visible, sir.
No, I can only see a PPT.
Sir,
No,
excuse
it
me,
is
sir.
no, it is still not. You need to stop the screen share and share the program screen. Now it is visible.
Yeah, these are the basic setup of the Arduino board with this PIR motion sensor. And coming to the program, at the initialization of this program, we need to give the which pin we can give this input. As we can able to see here, we can give 30th pin. 30th pin is the default pin of the Arduino board for any connection. As we can see here, we can give this pin to the LED to give the output. And for the input, we can give here the second pin was connected to this one. And at initialization, any devices with starting with the no motion detected. And coming to here void setup, the pin mode is the basic declaration part, that the pin is whether act as an input or output. And here serial dot begin means it is the baud rate of this Arduino board. The default baud rate of this Arduino board is 9600. And next step is void loop. It can be repeated forever when we need these applications. Whether the motion is detected, the LED will blinks, and the motion is ended, the LED will turn off. We can able to see here. We can simulate this one. Here motion is detected, so the LED will blinks. And after some default time that's we are setting in this program, the motion was ended. That is called PIR motion sensor, and it can repeats with the time that are given here. And this is all about the PIR motion sensor that I can took for example. And that is all about the fundamental electronics. And I followed these references for making this PPT, fundamental.in, Wikipedia, electronicwings.com and walkme.com for program and the connection of the Arduino board with this PIR sensor. And finally, to summarize that without electronics, our life can become very hard to share anything. Like without mobile devices, we can't able to communicate with the far persons who are in another states, another places like this. So electronics plays an important role in our day-to-day lives. And this is all about the fundamental electronics. Thank you, sir.
Are you done with it?
Sir?
Are you completely done with it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So overall, I would say it was okay. But with respect to your explanation, it was not really good for the beginners. Okay, it was quite hard to understand with respect to the beginners point of view, because some of the projects that you demonstrated, okay,
Yes, sir.
it was a good demonstration. It looked like, but it was not in depth and it was quite hard to follow. Okay, so next time when you are giving a presentation, make sure that it is quite easy to explain, or make sure your explanation is good enough so that everyone can understand it.
Okay.
Because I believe some of the people lost what was going on in between. Okay, and also for the reference slide, you don't need to speak all the websites. Okay, just you can note down some of the most popular one, and then for the conclusion, work on your conclusion. It was so small conclusion because you covered a lot of topics, but your conclusion was not really proper. It was not proper recap of what you have went through. Okay, and in the thank you slide, it is good that you have thank you slide, but make sure that you have some kind of contact information. What you can do after you have uploaded this in the GitHub or somewhere, then you can provide that link, or you can provide your email address. Okay, for the content. And also for the task, what your task is. Make sure that you are explaining it clearly so that everyone understand what it is actually happening. Okay. So it will be quite easy to follow for everyone.
Okay, sir.
Other than that, I would say it was okay. Yeah, certainly, please.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So you can stop your screen recording. So I believe there are, I'm getting some general discussions in. Okay, yeah. So if you guys are joining for the 1st April internship, okay, this is not the meeting for that. Okay, so I believe it is from 15th or some other date. Okay, so date is not confirmed from my side because I am conducting the presentation meeting. You have to go to the hackweather.in website. There is technical chat at the bottom of the screen. You have to click on that and you have to ask for the date there. But most probably you will receive an email which will have the date at which the date at which your presentation will actually start. So you have to look for a mail which says that invites you for the welcome meeting. So check the date for the welcome meeting, and that is your first day of the batch. Okay, this is not the internship welcome meeting. Okay. If you have any kind of issue you want to get in touch, then you can certainly get in touch through the technical chat, or you can send mail at the support@hackweather.in. Okay. So I have this made clear for all the new people who have joined. So we'll move on to the next person for the internship. For the presentation, that is Saiteja.
Is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible. What is your topic?
My topic is implementation of security in Java web application.
Okay, just wait.
Okay, first of all, my name is Saiteja. I'm from 1st February batch. I'm from Java development programming. My task is about implementation security in Java web application. In this presentation, I am going through introduction and what is a Spring Boot security, what is Spring Boot security features and code, observation and references. Now we are going to the what is introduction of Spring Boot security. It is just a simple framework which is provided as security for our data authentication and all the websites for the for not unauthorized people to access it. So it is like security for normal security. So what is security? Security is a web server which is used for interface between your server and user, and it helps us to it helps us to protect us using product from man-to-man attack, different types of attacks. It helps from brute force and man-to-man attacks, and it helps to secure our data from unauthorized person to access it. So going to next slide about the futures of security and basic access authentication, digital access authentication, remember me, and LDAP, and Spring security features, etc. These all are the features of Spring Boot securities. And going to the next slide, the observation. This is I'm going to the code. For implementation of security, we just add a dependency in the Spring Boot in the prompts XML file, which we just needed to add a Spring Boot start security for add a security in our web page. If after adding the dependency, I already executed code. After adding the dependency, we are adding a default dependency. Because of that, we are just getting the user and user sign in and password. We didn't assign any username or password. Because of that, we are getting the default value. Default name is user, and password is generated in our compiler, like user generated security password. So after executing, after login from the user name and password, we get the we can access the web page. Like I just simple add hello world in that. So I'm getting the hello world. That's it. This is just adding the security to my web page. That's it about my task. And these are my task references, which I go through for the for the details. If you have any question, you can ask me. And this is about my presentation. Thank you. Hello, sir.
Are you done with it?
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. Go to your slide number 1.
Slide about implementation of security in Java web application.
Okay, go to next one. Go to next one. Now go to next one. Go to next one. Okay, see. So you are getting Q&A, right?
Sir?
You are taking the Q&A, right? The question and answer.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So can you tell me how secure is your website?
How secure?
Okay, so let's think it that way. If I
Sir,
perform some kind of say, like some kind of attack, then what are the attacks that it can withstand? Like you have limited some of them, so can you explain it to me? You have written it in the slide.
Yeah, protector is like not limited to brute force or man-to-man attack. It is we can improve the security depending on.
You have improved it in this, right?
Yeah, just improved it. Just I improved it, but the improvement is limited. We can commonly stop the unauthorized person, like up to certain attacks only, not for entire attacks. For the entire attacks, we need to update more. Like I not have exact idea about how to improve for every attack to stop, but for the login, after adding the login and password, we can stop up to certain attacks.
So did you check in Postman that is API working without the login credentials?
You mean without login we can access the web pages?
Yeah, through the Postman.
Yeah, we can access it.
Then
I just need to remove the dependency of the security. Then it after with that automatically can access the web page like Google.
How is it secure? we need to make it secure, right?
Yeah, because of that I added this security dependency. If you remove it, it have we can directly access it, but we cannot without the I mean the authorized person, we cannot remove it, the code now, sir. Not everyone can access the code and remove the dependency file code.
Okay, so there is written that there is cross forgery, man in the middle, and brute forcing. Okay, so
Yeah.
are we secure against that this kind of attack?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So
Yeah.
did you confirm that cross forgery is not working, man in the middle is not working?
No, sir, I didn't know how to attack, so I cannot confirm.
But did you confirm from like internet by searching that if I have
Yeah,
this dependency, then am
yeah.
I secure against that?
So you mean I can explain about a brute force? Like normally we can assume the user we have a username user, but password is randomly generated. But the password can be cracked by using brute force, like random probability randomly generating the code value. So in this process we can access the password and we can log in it without actual user. So it is we can access the by using brute force, but man in middle attack. So I have no actual I don't have any detailed idea how the attack works, uh, how the attack works, so I cannot explain about that. But in brute force we can I know about that. We can direct probability by using probability of code, like random values, and by using that we can access the code, I mean web page.
So it is not secure against brute force.
Yeah, yes sir, brute force.
Okay. Okay. So
I mean,
now
depend on passwords, sir. Like we have the up to 10 value digits, so it is hard to calculate the 10 value digits. So I mean,
what do
probability
you
of a
mean
10
by hard?
value is
It is
very big.
not hard. See, if I write a script to generate a 10 value random number, okay, I can get billions of combination in matter of seconds with Python.
But it's, the password is also generating the alphabetical alphabets. Yeah, you can see in this observation.
That does it. Have you ever seen Python script generating random numbers? How fast it is? It takes
Yeah,
around 1 or 2 minutes to generate 10 billion combinations of anything
yes, sir.
like text or even special characters. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So see, the thing is theoretically, I think you are not really understanding what is going on. Okay, it is not in-depth research. Okay, do more in-depth research on it because there are many common attacks that can be done. Okay, so have more knowledge on that. Other than that, I think there are a lot of important things that you have not covered. So when we are talking about the security in a website, okay, or in a Java, so you do cover that we can use this dependency for this. But I believe you have not clearly covered or not clearly explained what are the limitations of this dependency, how this dependency is actually working. Okay, you did show us the code that this is the dependency, this is what is happening. But in terms of presentation, you first need to tell us what you are going to do, what we can expect. Okay, so that it is easier for your viewers to understand. Just like how I got confused, everyone can get confused. Okay, and always do some in-depth research. Always, like, ask yourself what kind of questions my viewers can ask me. What I asked was really basic level thing. Okay, if we are talking about security, then what are the attacks that can be done, or what is the attack that is safe from? You should know about it. Okay.
Yes, actually attacks are different concept, na, sir. How to attacks works and what are the attacks. So it is different concept. Because of that, I had not study about the attacks, how the attack in, you mean how the attacks you can use in this. So I didn't know. I
Okay.
didn't
See,
study.
when you have a question like that, you need to be confident that this is not the relevant question. Okay. Or if it is a relevant question, you need to make sure that you can answer it. If you can't, then you can simply say, sorry, I don't have much knowledge. Okay. But other than that, I would say your explanation was not quite in depth. As I can see your presentation, there is not enough content. Okay, you need to cover the limitations, and you also didn't cover the conclusion part. Okay, so whatever your explanation was, it was okay, I believe, for this. Okay, but cover the this
Okay.
cover the conclusion.
Okay.
That is important. So next time, make sure in mind that you cover the conclusion part. You did cover the reference and Q&A. That is a good thing. Okay. Yeah. So next we'll move on to Jalindar Pandit.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, very good evening.
Sir, screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
So, first of all, introducing myself. So, my name is Jalindar Pandit, BTech ANTC from VIIT Pune. So, my group is Embedded System and IoT. So, my project name is Embedded System Engineering Internships. So, my task is identify key components of air quality monitor. So, now, contains so introduction, key components of air quality monitor, block diagram of air quality monitor, conclusion and references. So first of all, introduction. Yeah. So an air quality monitor is a device used of a measure of the quality of the air in the given. So environment is level tools of identifying of presence of contents of areas and pollutions such as particulate matter. So help organize the components and carbon monoxide and nitrogen dioxide air quality monitor of from different size of shape, and this is features of vary depending on the manufacturer of an intensive. The air quality monitor is a network all of the measurement. So operation is a prospective analysis of the evaluation of air pollution of different air. Some stations are equipped with a meteorological sensors and other noise level meter of major noise level. So uh, now look, a low cost of air pollution monitor is a device that use one or more than one sensor and other components to detect, monitor, and report on specific pollution like particular matter, carbon dioxide, and environment factor such as the temperature and humidity. So now key components of air quality monitor. Now this is Arduino Uno. So Arduino Uno is the most popular of board of Arduino family. It is provided by the Atmega 32P chips, which has 32K bytes of flash programming memory and 2K bytes of SRAM and 1K bytes of EEPROM. So now pins is the pin 0 or 30 are digital GPIO pins. So pin A0 to A5 dual of analog input pins and additional to beginning digital GPIO pins. So there are three ground pins. Ground one which is one on top the board, and next two pin is 30 and ground 2 or ground 3 which are the bottom. So pin 5 volt are connected on this positive power supply, and pin 3.3 volt is a reset are not available in the simulation. So digital pin 3, 5, 6, 9, 10 and 11 has a hardware PWM support. So now next is a Raspberry Pi. So Raspberry Pi is a defined as a microcomputer. Microcomputer this size of the credit card, that is a develop my input and output hardware device, that is a monitor, televisions and a mouse and keyboard. Effectively connecting the setup into installed full PC and low cost. So now Raspberry Pi is a programmable device. It is come with all the circuit features of the motherboard. So in average computer, but without purchase or internal storage. So to set up the Raspberry Pi computer, it will be SD card insert to the provide specific the SD card. It should have to the opening system installed and required for the computer to boot. So Raspberry Pi components are compatible of the Linux OS, and this is the required the amount of the memory. So needed and create of a environment of a device. So input used in a mic, a keyboard, and should also be connected. Now, this sensor is a PM2.5 sensor, PMS5003. So this sensor is a device as a four main components air quality sensor. So we are using a 5 MS PMS 5003 sensor. So for measuring the PM 2.5 sensor is a practical meters in the air with the diameter of around 2.5 microns. Practicals, there are the most harming from of air pollution because by pollution because then can be depend on into the link board stream and brain. So this sensor also work on the principle of the last script. This is sensor has been which is create a control airflow and on the environment particle pass through the force last frame. So now this sensor is a CO2 sensor MH29 sorry 90. So we are using the MH Z19 sensor is measuring the CO2 carbon dioxide as a people in carbon dioxide which is receivable the indoor the content of CO2 then easily get the very high in not only emission high connections, but that is also cause of induction our production live on the so the sensor is using a non-destructive interfacing principle of the measure CO2 and in the air of any infrared source direct light up through the tube. So now that is VOC and ozone sensor MP 503 and MPU 132 smoke sensor. So for measuring the VOC and ozone, we are using the MP 503 and MPU 131 is a gas sensor. That there are head of metal oxide sensor. So that is the principle of work in a needed to base detect the change the resistance and at the persons of target gas. So specific electronics current pass through the metal substitute and the resistance changes according to the amount of the gas present. So then this is the block diagram of air quality monitor. So carbon monoxide is a file under the review of the human sense, but carbon monoxide detect the advance in the low how the chemical adds that is color or electrical resistance. So now smoke sensor detect to the ionization chambers and one open to the ear and reference chamber that is, does not allow the entry of the particle. So LCD display. So LCD display it is a liquid crystal display. So change the transmission of the plan include the two platform lights and then to changes the quality of light that pass from the backlight. So data logger. So data logger is a instrument that is a monitor and record the change of the conditions. Other time then can be a signal stand along with consist of the multiple channels. So GPRS module. So GPRS module are GSM model or a GPRS model is a chips of a circuit that will be used to the installed communication between a mobile device or computing machine and GSM or a GSR system. So now is the conclusion of air quality monitor system are designed using a different sensor for the indoor and outdoor air quality monitor. It is a provision work by the using Arduino, Raspberry Pi, CO2 sensor, then VOC and ozone sensor, MP2, MP503 and MQ131, then CO2 sensor and MHZ19 and MP2.5 sensor and MQS 5003 temperature and humidity sensor. It's the different types of air quality monitor system that are currently available in a market in a studio. So and various information, the components that are the commonly used in their monitors are get the leads of the components and their respective fundamental functionalities are created and produced. These are the references. Then thank you. Yes, sir.
There is no demo. Hello, Jalindar. There is no demo, right?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. No problem. So, see, it was not bad, okay, but it was quite hard to follow for a beginner, okay, because can you go back to the Raspberry Pi image and image before that?
Yeah.
Image before that, number one.
Sir.
The number one. This is Raspberry Pi before that.
Already no, sir.
Yeah. See, you did a good explanation, okay, but see what image you are using, okay. You said pin number one is this, pin number four is this, but I can't see the pins, okay. It is really hard to see. Make sure you use more bigger image, and there are multiple image on the Google which will have pin marks, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so make sure you use those kind of images because it is really
Okay,
hard
sir.
to follow when you have images like this.
Okay,
So
sir.
go to the next one, this Raspberry Pi.
Yes,
Even
sir.
in this one, see, this image is quite good, but image quality is not good, okay.
Okay, sir.
You did explain the pins, but it was quite hard to follow because I can't really read what are the pins, okay. So focus on your presentation formatting skills, okay, and
Okay, sir.
explanation, also work on the explanation part. Your last presentation explanation was good, but this one you need to work on it, okay. It was quite hard to follow, but anyway it was fine, okay.
Sorry, sir.
And yeah,
नेक्स्ट टाइम अच्छे से दे दूंगा सर.
yes, but next
सर ये
time,
फिर से दूं क्या मैं, मतलब कल परसों शेड्यूल करोगे? अच्छा
no,
नहीं
no,
हुआ.
ये सही रहेगा, चलिए.
ओके सर, एक क्वेश्चन था मुझे.
आप चैट में डाल
मेरे
दो.
नहीं सर, प्रेजेंटेशन के बारे में था कि
ओके,
मेरे
ओके.
तो प्रेजेंटेशन पेंडिंग है, तो सर ने कहा है कि वो सर से बात करके शेड्यूल कर ले और प्रेजेंटेशन दे दो.
तुम्हारे कौन कौन से टॉपिक का नाम बताना?
एम्बेडेड सिस्टम और आईओटी सर. सर टास्क नेम सर क्या?
या
सर पेंडिंग टास्क है रिसर्च एयर क्वालिटी मॉनिटर सिस्टम.
या हाँ, तुम्हारा शेड्यूल है. ठीक है,
ओके.
तुम्हारा जब रेडी हो जाएगा तुम दे देना, ठीक है.
ओके सर.
ओके, सो विल
थैंक यू
मूव
सर.
ऑन. या सो विल
थैंक
मूव
यू.
ऑन, जस्ट वेट अ मिनट.
थैंक यू सर.
Okay, so sorry about that. So I just received the message from sir that we will have the 1st April Jan welcome meeting by tomorrow. Okay, so all of the people who have joined for the internship. Okay, so there was some issue with the communication. So don't worry, we will have your welcome meeting tomorrow. So you need to join the same meeting, and we will have your introduction session and welcome meeting. You will also receive mail, don't worry. You will receive after your internship will only be active after your meeting is done. So, okay, so next question is Bhumika Bhagel.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good
Am I
evening.
audible?
Yeah, you are audible. But your voice is echoing too much. Can you fix it?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah,
And now,
yeah, now it is fine. You can continue with them. What is your topic?
uh, sir, my topic is scientific analysis group. Sir, actually, I have a query regarding my presentation. So, should I ask it now or after presentation?
Yeah, you can ask what it is.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Sir, actually, I scheduled my presentation of first task, but it accidentally got presentation it accidentally got scheduled for the second task.
Not an
So,
issue. You can tell me the title. I will send you scores for this. I will convey sir that we need to send score for another one.
sorry, sir, I couldn't hear.
You need to tell me the title, okay, the title of your presentation. You will get the score for that particular title only.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So I can give my presentation of first task today.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Uh, Sir, is my screen visible?
yes, it is.
Yes, sir. So good evening, everyone. My name is Bhumika Bhagel. I am from Java Developer Group, and my task is to learn about Scientific Analysis Group, DRDO. So let's go through the contents. We will first see introduction, then mission of SAG, then vision of SAG, then area of work, achievements, and lastly the conclusion. Here is the introduction. Established in 1984, Scientific Analysis Group is a laboratory of defense research and development organization which focuses on cryptology and information security. So here cryptology is the study of securing communication from unauthorized access, and it involves cryptography, which is practice of secure communication, creating secure communication, and crypto analysis, which is the process of encrypting the data, analyzing and encrypting the data. And SAG is tasked with providing timely and accurate intelligence inputs to the Indian Armed Forces, and is also involved in wide range of research and development activities related to intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance technologies. Now, the mission of SAG is to make the Scientific Analysis Group the finest cryptology and information security laboratory in the world. Now, coming to the vision of SAG, SAG aims to be the leader in the field of cryptology, and its aim, its vision is to develop contemporary tools and algorithms using maths, computer science, and electronic communication to analyze security and IT products, and also establish advanced facilities for electronic probing and communication analysis. Here, electronic probing is referred by the use of electronic test equipments to measure and analyze the electronic signals in circuits. Now let's talk about the area of work. The area working area of SAG is to focus on advanced mathematical analysis, signal processing, computing, and information security with advanced facilities for electronic probing and communication signal analysis. Now let's see the achievements of SAG. SAG has developed various tools and techniques that have helped to safeguard the communication systems used by the Indian Defence Establishment, and its contribution to national security has been recognized by DRDO Technology Spin-off Award and National Award for Research and Development Efforts in Industry. Here are some tools and techniques developed by SAG. First one is airborne early warning and control system. which is an airborne surveillance system which is used to detect and track the aircraft, ships, and vehicles at long range. Second one is satellite-based surveillance system, which uses the satellites to detect the activities going in ground at wide range. Sorry. And the third one is cryptographic system for secure communication. Fourth one is data mining and analysis system. And
Sorry,
the last
Bhumika,
one,
but your presentation screen is not visible.
yeah, sorry, sir, I couldn't hear.
Your presentation screen is not visible.
Uh,
Can you
yes, sir,
share
quickly
again?
let me check.
No, it is still not visible. It is not visible, Bhumika. And you are mute. Please unmute. Please unmute in Zoom.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Should I continue?
Your screen is not visible.
So now,
I can see your email screen.
sir, it's not visible from the beginning.
Yeah.
Uh, sir, I don't know, sir. I'm using the PowerPoint
Show
on.
the full screen. Okay, share the entire screen and share the, yeah, don't just share one tab.
Yes, sir. Now it's visible, I
Yeah,
guess.
now it is visible.
Yes, sir. Sir, should I restart my presentation?
Yeah, restart, please.
Yes, sorry, sir. Sorry for the interruption. Uh, okay, sir. Good evening, everyone. My name is Bhumika Bhagel. I am from Java Developer Group, and my task is to learn about Scientific Analysis Group DRDO. So uh, let's go through the contents. First, we will see introduction, then mission, then vision, then area of work, achievements, and lastly conclusion. So here is the introduction. Scientific Analysis Group was established in 1984 and it's a laboratory of defense research and development organization in India, which focuses on cryptology and information security. And here cryptology is the study of securing communication from an unauthorized access, and it involves cryptography, which is the practice of creating secure communication, and cryptanalysis, which is the process of encrypting and analyzing the data. And it is tasked with providing timely and accurate intelligence inputs to the Indian Armed Forces, and is also involved in a wide range of research and development activities related to intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance technologies. Now, the mission of SAG is to make the Scientific Analysis Group the finest cryptology and information security laboratory in the world. Now, coming to the vision of SAG is to develop contemporary tools and algorithms using mathematics, computer science, and electronic communication to analyze security and IT products, and also establish advanced facilities for electronic probing and communication analysis. Here, electronic probing is referred by the use of electronic test equipments to analyze and measure the electronic signals in circuits. Now, the area of work, SAC focuses on advanced mathematical analysis, signal processing, computing, and information security with established facilities for electronic probing and communication analysis. Now, let's see the achievements of SAC. SAC has developed tools and techniques that have helped to safeguard the communication systems used by the Indian defense establishment. And its contribution to national security has also been recognized by DRDO Technology Spin-off Award and National Award for Research and Development Efforts in Industry. Here are some tools and techniques developed by SAC. First one is airborne early warning and control system, which is an airborne surveillance system, which uses to detect and track the aircraft, ships, and vehicles at long range. And second one is satellite-based surveillance systems, which uses the satellites to detect the activities at wide range in ground. And third one is cryptographic systems for secure communication. Fourth one is data mining and analysis system, and the last one is image processing and analysis system. Sorry. Now coming to the conclusion, SAG of DRDO is a premier cryptology and information security lab, and it has made significant contribution to national security with advanced tools for secure communication and intelligence. SAG has also established facilities for analysis, and the vision of SAG is to be the world's finest by developing contemporary tools using mathematics, computer science, and electronic and communication. Here are the reference. Thank you. And any questions regarding SAG are welcome. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I would say it was an okay presentation. Okay, but work on your explanation skills, because some of the slides you were just reading from the slides. Okay, from like achievements and the area of work. When you have slides like that where you just need to read it, always make it point wise, like two, 3 point, 2, 3 word point. Make it multiple points and then read the paragraph. Okay.
Yes, sir, I'll take
Don't
it.
just directly read it from the slide.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I have some more in-depth explanation on it. Other than
Yes.
that, I would say it was okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So we'll move on to next one, that is Kiran Bharane.
Hello, sir. My voice is clear.
Yeah, it is clear.
My PPT is visible, sir.
Yeah, it is visible. You can share. Please turn your camera.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Kiran.
Hello.
Turn your camera.
Yes, sir. My camera is visible.
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay,
Please
sir.
start.
Hello, sir. Good evening. I am Kiran Bharane. I am from 16 March batch intern from Data Engineers Group, and this is my first task, that is future location prediction system. Okay, let's see today's agenda. That is, first we see about my topic, then about my task description, then we see about my data set, then we see how I build my model, and then about my flowchart, then we see my conclusion, and then question and answers. Okay, let's see what is future location prediction system. Actually, if we say normally what is future location prediction system in machine learning, then the answer is we can predict the user future location prediction system. Sorry, we predict user future location using current location and time, and also where he previously visited that locations also. Let's about my task description. Actually, my task is to develop future location prediction system using data IQ's tool. But main motive behind this topic is also understand the data IQ's tool, how it useful in industry level project, how we build in a project in data IQ's tool. Actually, if you are using data IQ tool, then there is no need to write Python script for our model. And data IQ's tool is a machine learning and AI company which was founded in 2030. And DataIQ is end-to-end machine learning platform that combines virtual tools and notepads. Okay, so dataset actually I am using to develop my system location dataset, and I'm not going to anywhere to find my dataset like kaggle.com, microsoft.com. Actually, Hackweather is also provided me this dataset, and I'm using this dataset also. Okay, let's see how to build machine learning models using our libraries or steps. Actually, not these steps is not related only for my today's topic. Actually, these steps we follow to build any models in machine learning. First, we import libraries, the necessary libraries like pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, that are the necessary libraries to build our model. And then there is need our dataset, because without dataset we can't build any model in machine learning. After load our dataset, then we need to split this dataset into a specific accurate scale like 80 by 20. Yes. After splitting our dataset in the ratio 80 and 20, we are using 20% data for testing, and then on this testing we are first we test our model using 20% dataset, and on that predictions and accuracy we are train our remaining 80% dataset. Yes. Yes. After after splitting our dataset in 80 and 20, then we start testing on 20% dataset using particular model, and then get our accuracy. Yes, and on the basis of that accuracy, suppose our accuracy is good, then we are apply this algorithm on whole dataset. If suppose our accuracy is not good, then we change our model and find out which model is best to build our model. Then we are using this model also, and in this way we are build our model in machine learning. Okay, data set I have for features, that is event time start, event timing, longitude start, and latitude start. On the basis of that parameters or features, I have to predict latitude in and longitude in. This is my task. Okay, this is the screenshot of my data set. Yeah, we can say this is a event time start, event timing, latitude start, and longitude start. In this particular column, here is the time and date of the start event, and this is also time and date to the our event is end. Okay, this is screenshot of how I choose algorithms to build my model. This is a screenshot of my accuracy, actually, sir. Yes. Okay, first I calculate latitude using Liso regression, because compared to other algorithms, Liso regression gives me high accuracy. That's why I choose Liso regression to predict my latitude. And this is error distribution and matrices and assertions, and this is the graph. Actually, this is actual values. This is actual values after building, and then sorry, before building, and after applying algorithms, this is the predicted values. Similar to latitude, I build longitude prediction using XGBoost algorithm, and I use XGBoost algorithm because it also gives high accuracy compared to other models. That's why I choose. This is the flowchart of my task. Actually, this is my data set after cleaning and after applying any steps. After that, I am applying here Liso regression for latitude prediction. Then I get latitude prediction data set. That means in my raw data, there is added one new column, that is predicted latitude. And then after that, I'm applying XGBoost algorithm on whole data set. That means in that step, I'm applying here XGBoost algorithm. Then I reach to my final output, that is a prediction of longitude. In this way, I build my model. Okay, let's see my sorry, this is my conclusion. Actually, I understand through my project actually how to use a typist tool and how it is useful, and I also understand how to apply machine learning algorithms to choose the which is really good for our machine learning model, and how to apply them also. Okay, sir. If you have any questions regarding to my PPTs and my project, then ask me. Hello.
Are you done with the presentation?
No. If you have any questions, sir.
Yeah. So say my current location is Mumbai. Okay. At 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. 2 p.m.
Okay, 2 p.m.
Okay. So how will you find my future location? What is the exact step?
Actually, sir, I want to say you one. Actually, this topic I'm predicted on this topic. This is my okay. This is even time start time and even time ends time and latitude and longitude also. But on this parameters, I just find this is longitude in and latitude in like this.
Sorry. Sorry, your network was not really good. Okay. Can you come again?
Wait, sir. Now it's okay.
Yeah, now it is okay. Yeah, can you explain so suppose I am giving you the data, my actual position, the coordinates that you are asking, okay. Suppose I am giving you coordinate for the Mumbai, okay. At 2 p.m. I am in Mumbai. So what is my expected location? How will you find it? What is the data that you want to calculate it?
I am not calculated, sir, but if you see uh,
If you are comfortable in Hindi, you can explain it in Hindi.
यस सर अगर हम मशीन लर्निंग के म्हणजे अगर हम मशीन लर्निंग की तरह सोचे मतलब मशीन लर्निंग मॉडल की तरह तो ये हमारा पास्ट जो लोकेशन है उन पर डिपेंड करता है कि अगर तुम 2 PM मुंबई में हो और तुम रेगुलरली 2 PM को मुंबई में ही होते हो तो हमारी मशीन ये जनरेट करेगी तो मशीन जनरेट करेगी फ्यूचर में तुम 2 PM को मुंबई में होगे like this.
So suppose not at 2 p.m. at 5 p.m.
Yeah, 5 PM also because we are providing data set like machine we are हम मशीन को जो डेटा सेट प्रोवाइड करते हैं और एनी डेटा नॉट लाइक डेटा सेट हम जो भी उसे प्रोवाइड करते हैं ऑन द बेसिस लाइक पास्ट एक्सपीरियंसेस इफ यू से पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस ये पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस पे हमें बताती है कि अगर मतलब कैसे बताऊं मैं आपको.
Okay, so let me ask you. Suppose I am giving you data for 5 days. मैं तुमको 5 दिन का डेटा दे रहा हूँ, ठीक है? मेरा डेटा 5 दिन का. So on all 5 days at 2 p.m. I am at Mumbai. Okay, but 3 days I am in Pune, and then for 1 day I am in Gujarat, and for 1 day I am in Mumbai. Okay, so based on that data, what do you think will be the expected location?
Yes, then you are also in Pune because machine is calculated on the basis of probability, like chances, how more chances, like this.
That is what I'm asking. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. So you did good job explaining. You can continue with the presentation.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Can I show you my flow chart, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. This is my flow chart. Now it's visible, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, this is my final flow chart. Actually, sir, in this topic, मतलब हम इस टॉपिक में एक्चुअल फ्यूल प्रोडक्शन के बारे में ऐसा कुछ प्रिडिक्ट नहीं कर पाते बिकॉज दिस इज अब तक के ना रिसर्च टॉपिक है. हम ऐसा प्रिडिक्ट नहीं कर सकते विद द हेल्प ऑफ मशीन कि हम फ्यूचर में यहाँ होंगे बिकॉज इट इज ऑल्सो डिपेंड्स ऑन प्रोबेबिलिटी हाउ मेनी चांसेस लाइक अगर तुम हफ्ते में से 6 दिन पुणे में है और 1 दिन मुंबई में है, तो मशीन हमें बताए कि तुम संडे और मंडे को पुणे में ही होगे, लाइक दिस. Now, sir, I think my PPT is also done. My presentation is done, sir.
Okay. There is no demonstration.
This is my demonstration, sir, also.
Okay. No, not an issue. Okay. So you need to work on your explanation part. Okay. There is a lot of improvement need to be done. See, the way you have created your PPT is good. Okay. But there are some things that are missing. So अगर जैसे मैं बोलूँ तुमने लासो रिग्रेशन यूज किया, ठीक है, तो फिर लासो रिग्रेशन वर्क कैसे कर रहा है तुम्हारे मॉडल के ऊपर? सो कुछ डेटा जा रहा है, इनपुट जा रहा है, एल्गोरिदम कौन सा तुमने लासो किया है और तुम्हारा एक्सपेक्टेड आउटपुट क्या है, ठीक है. सी ऑलवेज विद रिस्पेक्ट टू डेटा साइंस you are supposed to tell me what is the expected input, how input is working in the model, and what is the expected output. And whenever we are talking about the machine learning, you are supposed to tell me what is the accuracy, what is the error, and what is the biasness. Okay. Because if I say कि मेरा 3 दिन का डेटा पुणे का है और अगर मुझे पुणे का ही दिखेगा, तो उसमें कुछ तो बायसनेस रहेगा ना, या फिर कुछ तो लॉस हो रहा है, या फिर ट्रेनिंग के टाइम क्या लॉस हो रहा है. तो ये सब चीज भी तुमको बताना है, ठीक है. इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. तो हमको मालूम पड़ेगा तुम्हारा मॉडल कितना अच्छा है, ठीक है, उसका प्रिसीजन क्या है, उसका फिटिंग स्कोर कितना है, कितना लॉस हुआ है उसके अंदर, ठीक है. ये सब चीज कवर करो. तो आई वुड से इट इज नॉट दैट इन डेप्थ. Try to have more in-depth presentation next time and work on your explanation skills. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So we'll move on to next time. That is Nikit Singh. You are saying I am having network issue. Yeah, Nikit, if you are having network issue, then we can skip.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, just a minute. So is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is visible. Turn your camera, please.
Okay. Is it visible?
Yeah,
Am
you
I?
can start.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. My name is Nikit Singh. My project name is DRDO Cryptography and Cryptanalysis Project. My task is implementing Caesar Cipher in Java. So we will be saying classical encryption techniques, Caesar Cipher, its Caesar Cipher's algorithm, its implementation, and lastly, its conclusion. So just a minute, sir. Okay. So in classical encryption techniques, there are two types of methods. First is substitution method, and second is transposition method. In substitution method, one letter, one alphabet is replaced by another alphabet by some shifts, like the characters. Here, the characters present in the original message are replaced by the other characters or by some symbols or maybe numbers. So there are some subtypes of a substitution method as Caesar cipher, monoalphabetic substitution, Playfair cipher, Hill cipher, polyalphabetic ciphers, and lastly one-time pad. Okay. So here in this image, you can see it's an example of a substitution method. Here, the letter D is getting replaced by the letter A. Similarly, letter E is getting replaced by the letter B. Okay. So these steps, these steps are followed in the substitution technique. So next is transposition technique. Okay, in transposition technique, we perform some kind of permutation on the plain text so that plain text can get converted into ciphertext. And while mapping plain text into ciphertext, we use transposition technique. So this transposition technique is also called as transposition cipher. So let us see this example. Here, there is a matrix where we have we have plain text as transposition. Okay, and while applying the transposition technique, we in the matrix we arrange the letters of plain text in the row form. Okay, and we allot it as uh, we allot a uh, um, range of numerical values to each columns. Now, while applying the transposition technique, we need a key code. We need a code according to which we can change the columns of the matrix so that we can get the cipher text. So here the key code is 43152. Now I'm arranging the column which I have assigned the numerical values in the same key code, uh, key code, क्या बोल सकते हैं? Key code, key code. Okay. So while fetching the cipher text from the arranged matrix, we need to start with the from the row 1 and the column 1 of the matrix. There we have to go in column format, like it's like N, I, X, A, S, and so on. So we will get the cipher text accordingly. Now there are some subcategories of the transposition technique, such as rail fence and row column transposition. These two techniques are the most basic techniques of transposition method. Now next is Caesar cipher. Caesar cipher is one of the most earliest and simplest method of encryption technique, and Caesar cipher is also called as shift cipher. And Caesar cipher was developed by the Julius Cipher, and hence the Caesar cipher is named after the surname of Julius Cyphers. Yeah. So here each letter, we replace each letter by another letter which are located a little further in the alphabet. Okay. For example, a Caesar cipher with a shift of 1, here the shift is also called as offset. Now with a shift of 1, we will encode A as B. Like with a shift of 1, we are encoding A as B. With a shift of 1, we are encoding B as C. So this is it. So here, okay. So here in this image, you can see that there is a plain text A, B, C, D, E, and there is a cipher text as D, E, F, G, H. Here I'm shifting A. I'm taking a shift of 3 as according to which my letters are getting shifted by three offsets, like A to B 1, B to C 2, and C to D 3. So that's why my letter A's cipher text is letter D. Similarly, for the letter B's cipher text is letter E. So this is for Caesar cipher. Next, we will be seeing the formula which are used for encryption and decryption in the Caesar cipher. Okay, just a minute. Yeah. So first formula, encryption formula. With the help of encryption formula, we can encode. We can perform a cryptography on some plain text. Like the formula goes as C is equals to P plus K modulus 26. Here C represents the cipher text, which we have to calculate. P is the plain text and K is the shifts. Okay. Here this percentage sign denotes modulus. Modulus means returning the remainder. For example, here I'm taking 26. I'm dividing 6 by 26. Okay. Now the after dividing it, I'm getting the remainder of 6. So the modulus answer will be 6. And this 26 in the formula, 26 is representing the total number of alphabets. Okay. Now let's take an example. Okay. So here I'm applying the this formula in the plain text. in the plain text A, and where the key is phi. Here, P is 0 because the value for A would be 0, for B it would be 1, for C it would be 2. So that's how I'm getting the plain text value for A is as 0, plus key is phi, so plus 5 modulus 26. So I'm getting the answer as phi. Now the phi represents the F alphabet letter. So this is the cipher text for the plain text A. Now here the decryption formula, where I have to find the plain text and the formula is C minus K modulus 26. Okay. Now this is its example where I have taken the cipher text as F and key as 5. Now I have to decode the cipher text F to its plain text. Now I'm applying the formula here, and the value for F is 5 as we have calculated here. Okay, and then I'm applying all the given values, and then I'm getting the answer as 0 for plain text. And as I said, 0 represents the number for the alphabet letter A. So this is the examples of formula. Next is algorithm. Here, let us see the steps of algorithm of Caesar cipher. So first step is taking the assigned numerical value to the alphabet from the table. So this is the table. Oh, I'm sorry. So this is the table where we have assigned the numbers to the alphabet letters from A to Z. Okay. Now, the second step is applying the encryption formula on the given plain text by substituting the values in the equation. For encryption, I have said, as I said, that C is equals to P plus K modulus 26 is the formula. So we will substitute all the given values in this given encryption formula. And next step is, after getting the answer from the equation, we will alternate the alphabet for the numerical value. For example, like as I given the example, like here we are like alternating, like the phi represents the F letter. So similarly, we will fetch the letters which are which are assigned to that particular number. So next step is, after applying the equation to all the letters and converting all of them in cipher text, write all of the cipher text together, and we will get the encrypted data for the given plain text. Next is the example for the algorithm. So here we are taking a shift of phi, and this shift of phi was given in the task instructions. Like I have to take the shift of phi. So I have taken the plain text as weather. Here I have taken this table, and I am applying this encryption formula. So just a minute. Okay, so here here I have this hack weather as a plain text, and I have to find the cipher text for all that particular individual letters of plain text. Now here, for getting the cipher text of letter H, I'm applying the encryption formula, and here the plain text, the number for the letter H is 7. So I'm taking P as 7. Key is already given as 5 and modulus 26. So there I'm getting the answer as 12. 12 represents the letter M. So now we can say that M is the cipher text for the plain text H. Similarly, I have applied the formula for the letter A, and I'm getting this F letter. So here F is the cipher text for the plain text A. Now this is the algorithm of the cipher, Caesar cipher. Now let us move on next. Okay, its implementation. Okay, in its implementation, okay, in its implementation, first of all, I have created a package as Caesar cipher where I'm putting this code, and I'm importing the class scanner from the util package. This scanner class is used to get an input from the user. Then I have created a class named as Caesar cipher. There I'm creating a global variable as alphabet, and I'm assigning all the letters from A to Z in that alphabet variable. And also I'm using here final keyword, which represents this variable is a constant variable. Now next, I have created a encrypt method, which is okay, which is getting the two parameters as plain text and key, that is shape. So here I have used lowercase function for the plain text variable, which lowers the input variable of the user. And then I have created ciphertext so that I can return a value, the assigned numbers of ciphertext from this method encrypt. Then I have applied this for loop where I'm converting the letters of plain text into the assigned numericals of ciphertext. Not exactly the ciphertext letters, but the numericals which are assigned to the ciphertext. That means this for loop returns this numericals, not exactly this ciphertext letters. So yeah, here this method is returning the ciphertext. Yeah. So next method is, I have created next method as decrypt, which is decrypting my ciphertext into the plain text. Here similarly, I have taken two parameters. I have fetched two parameters, and I have then I have converted all the ciphertext letters into the lowercase, and then I have created this plain text variable to return the plain text assigned values, not the exact plain text letters. Okay, so then I have created this for loop, which is returning the assigned numbers of plain text letters. Like I said same for the ciphertext, like plain text assigned plain text numbers. So this numbers, not exactly this plain text letters. So yeah, it's returning here plain text. So let us move on next. Then in the third method, my third method is the main method, which is important for a program of Java, because without the main method, we can't run a program in the Java. So in this main method, I have used scanner class to get the input from the user, and then I have called this encrypt method, and I have passed two parameters. As I said, for encrypt method, there are two parameters, plain text and the shift. Okay, now this text is the text which I am taking from the user, which is the input. Okay, the proper plain text is stored in this text variable. Okay, and this is passed to the parameter 1 of encrypt method, and this 5 is the shift key of the encrypt method. Okay, now similarly, I have, for decryption, I have called a decrypt method, where I'm first of all I'm encrypting this text and then I'm decrypting in it so that I can display the decrypted decrypted letters. Now this is the output. So let me show you the proper demo of this program. Uh, So is it visible, my Eclipse interface?
No, PPT is on.
Okay, let me rejoin. अरे यार कैसे करते हैं? Stop share and then share screen. Yeah. So is it visible now?
Yeah, it is loading.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is visible.
So this is the code which I have explained just now, and I'm running it now as. Okay. So here I'm giving the text, plain text as hack without. And here I'm getting the cipher text as this and plain text as this. Okay. Now, so yeah, so I'm getting the output as cipher text where cipher text first because I have called the encrypt method and then I have converted the plain text into cipher text. And next there is a plain text for which I have called the decrypt method and where I encrypted the text and then I decrypted it and then I'm displaying it. So this is my demo. Let me go. Okay, so just a minute, sir. Okay. Okay. So the conclusion of this presentation is cryptography is a concept of hiding the data in the secret form, and the method named as Caesar cipher is one of the cryptographic technique. And there are some formulas and steps for implementing the Caesar cipher encryption technique. And Caesar cipher is a substitution method which replaces one letter by the another letter, and which can be then converted, which can be then decrypted into the plain text. So here are some references for the theoretical sites, for a YouTube video, and for my GitHub for this PPT. And then lastly, if you guys have any questions, you can ask. And thank you for listening me. So my presentation is done.
Okay. Overall, I would say it was a really good presentation. You have improved from last time, but you still need some, explanation. With respect to your explanation, you still need some practice. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Sahil. Wait, Sahil has a question.
So can I stop my screen sharing?
Wait. Yes, Sahil, please ask your question.
Hello.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Turn your camera on, please.
Sir, can I ask question in Hindi?
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sir. क्या मैं आपका डेमो देख सकता हूँ दोबारा एक बार?
Hello, Nikit.
Yes, sir.
He is asking you question.
आपका
Okay.
डेमो दिखाना एक बार
Okay,
Java
okay.
code में दोबारा Eclipse पर.
Okay, just a minute. Okay. Okay. So yeah.
सर इन्होंने एक्सप्लेन किया कि हम स्विच करें, मतलब लाइक शिफ्ट करेंगे कैरेक्टर्स. ओके.
Yeah.
तो इसका मतलब अगर कैपिटल लेटर होगा तो कैपिटल लेटर में शिफ्ट होना चाहिए. लेकिन इनके फंक्शंस में इन्होंने क्या किया है कि जब स्ट्रिंग पास हुआ उसको इन्होंने लोअर केस में कन्वर्ट कर दिया.
Yeah.
और तो मतलब आंसर हमेशा लोअर केस में ही आएगा. अगर कोई मैं प्लेन टेक्स्ट अगर मैं अपर केस में पास कर रहा हूँ तो उसका आंसर अपर केस में ही आना चाहिए. तो क्या आप इसके कोड को रन करोगे एक बार और अपर केस में एक बार?
Okay, I can run it for you. Okay. So see, मैंने यूजर से एक टेक्स्ट लिया है, ठीक है. यूजर ने मेरे को एक टेक्स्ट दिया है जो कि प्लेन टेक्स्ट फॉर्म में है, ठीक है. अभी उसको साइफर टेक्स्ट पे कन्वर्ट करना है, तो वो चाहे लोअर केस में हो या अपर केस में, उसे कुछ फर्क तो पड़ता है नहीं. हमें फाइनली सिर्फ उसको एक सीक्रेट.
What if a person is sharing some password or any key?
Yeah.
You just need to shift characters, not change the case of characters. This is not the algorithm.
बट एक्चुअली बैकएंड में क्या होता है वो जानना यूजर को इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है ना।
लेकिन एल्गोरिथम का सही करना तो इम्पोर्टेंट है, यूजर के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट तो नहीं है, सही बात है, लेकिन एल्गोरिथम तो सही वर्क करनी चाहिए, एल्गोरिथम तो आपकी सही वर्क नहीं कर रही, इसमें
अच्छा,
बग
मतलब
है।
आप बोल रहे हो कि
Yes.
लाइक जस्ट अ मिनट।
कैपिटल
So-
लेटर भरो, कैपिटल लेटर भरो इसके अंदर।
ओके, जस्ट अ मिनट।
देखो आपका प्लेन टेक्स्ट इसने क्या दिखाया, स्मॉल लेटर्स में है विद, तो इसने तो प्लेन
Okay.
टेक्स्ट चेंज कर दिया, इसने तो ओरिजिनल प्लेन टेक्स्ट रखा ही नहीं। और ये जो एरर आई आपकी इसलिए आई क्योंकि आपने लोअर केस में उसको चेंज कर दिया। अगर आपके एल्गोरिथम अप्लाई करते कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ रही है और आपको लोअर केस में वो स्विच करना भी है, तो एटलीस्ट आपको स्टोर तो रखना चाहिए वो कि मैंने लोअर केस में किया था, मैं उसको रिटर्न करते टाइम वापस से अपर
Okay.
केस में कर दूं।
या जस्ट अ मिनट। अगर हम लोग को अपर केस में इनपुट दिया है तो उसके लिए
Yes.
यहाँ पे आप ये देख सकते हैं, ये लोअर
Yes.
केस फंक्शन है। मैं
यही बात
रिटर्न
कर रहा
करते
हूँ।
टाइम, ओके कैन यू लिसन मी, मैं
Yes.
रिटर्न करते टाइम मैं ये फंक्शन का यूज करूंगा और डिक्रिप्ट मेथड के अंदर, लाइक यहाँ पे रिटर्न करते टाइम मैं इसके बाद यही मेथड का यूज करूंगा, लाइक यहाँ पे, और फिर मैं रिटर्न करूंगा प्लेन टेक्स्ट को। इट्स दैट सिंपल, हमें आ जाएगा। ओके जस्ट अ मिनट, आई विल शो यू। इसके लिए हम लोग को आगे, ठीक है, आई गेस।
ठीक है, इस बार सारे अपर केस लेटर मत रखना, आधे अपर केस आधे लोअर केस।
ओके
यस
ओके या
साहिल, कैन आई जस्ट कंफर्म विद
यस
यू?
सर।
सो निकित वो क्या बोल रहे हैं, सपोज मेरा एक यूजर है, ठीक है, और यूजर का नाम है यश और उसका पासवर्ड है कैपिटल वाई स्मॉल वाई ASH 123। अभी अगर मैं जब पासवर्ड कंफर्म करूंगा तो मेरा क्या रहेगा, इक्वल टू, तो उसमें जो उसका कैपिटल लेटर है वो भी सेम रहना चाहिए और स्मॉल भी सेम रहना चाहिए, ठीक है।
या आई अंडरस्टैंड
अगर
दैट।
अगर तुम उसको अपर कर दोगे लोअर कर दोगे तो सपोज अगर उसका मेरा पासवर्ड क्या होगा, वाई वाई ही जाएगा ना, दोनों
हाँ
स्मॉल आएगा फिर दोनों अपर आएगा। उनका क्या
यस सर,
कहने का मतलब है कि वो डेटाबेस के अंदर भी अपर और स्मॉल ही सेव होना चाहिए, ठीक है।
यस सर,
जो वो प्रोसेसिंग हो रहा है उसमें भी हो रहा है, जो तुमने अपर टू लोअर किया है ना, तुम लोअर वाला ही निकाल दो, तो जो
हाँ
डेटा जैसा जा रहा है एज इट इज वैसे ही प्रोसेस होगा। जैसे तुम्हारा ना साइफर
यस
टेक्स्ट
सर,
इक्वल टू लोअर केस, इसको तुम कमेंट आउट कर दो और अपर केस को भी कमेंट आउट कर दो
यस सर, मुझे
और
समझा
लोअर
वो।
केस को भी कमेंट आउट कर दो, जो है ना साइफर टेक्स्ट डॉट लोअर केस, इसको भी कमेंट आउट कर दो। अभी वो लोअर केस होगा ही नहीं, जो डेटा जैसे है वैसे जाएगा, ठीक है। अभी तुम
यस
उसको
सर,
रन करके चेक करो, आधे आधे अपर आधे छोटे करके देखो।
ओके, सो एल्गोरिथम ही इशू है, राइट।
एल्गोरिदम इशू नहीं है, द थिंग इज, देखो तुमको लोअर में मिल रहा है ना, ठीक है, अभी भी यही इशू आ रहा है ना कि तुमने एच कैपिटल डाला तो तुमको आपको वो पूरा लोअर मिल रहा है, ठीक है, यही इशू है ना। तुम चेक करो, तुम डिबग करो कोड को कि कहाँ पे केस चेंज हो रहा है और उस पॉइंट के ऊपर चेंज करो, ठीक है। ब्रेक
यस सर,
पॉइंट लगा लगा के चेक करो कहाँ पे एक्चुअली में चेंज हो रहा है। और तुम ये भी चेक करो क्योंकि जब हम लोग बात करते हैं अपर केस लोअर केस की, तो देखो वो कैसे चेंज हो रहा है। तुम एस की फॉर्मेट यूज कर दोगे क्योंकि बेसिकली एसकी के अंदर क्या होता है, अपर के लिए सपोज 1 है तो लोअर ए के लिए दूसरा रहेगा, सपोज
हाँ
27 रहेगा, ठीक है।
हाँ
तुम ये चेक करो कि तुम्हारा एल्गोरिदम क्या यूज कर रहा है, ठीक है, वो लिटरली तो नहीं चेंज कर रहा है, क्योंकि लिटरली अगर वो चेंज कर रहा है अल्फाबेट तो लोअर ए और कैपिटल ए तो ए तो एक ही रहेगा, ठीक है। तुम वो चेक करो कैसे कर रहे हैं और उसके ऊपर तुम चेंजेस करो, ठीक है।
या आई गॉट इट।
या आई विल नाउ यू गॉट इट, क्योंकि तुम जब लोअर से अपर करे तो मतलब वो मीनिंग चेंज हो रहा था, इसलिए उन्होंने बोला
हाँ
कि आधे अपर रखो आधे लोअर रखो, उनका मीनिंग ये था, ठीक है। तुम
यस सर,
कोड को डिबग करके उसको चेंजेस कर सकते हो वैसे, ठीक है।
यस सर, थैंक यू
इज दैट
साइड
इट
फॉर
साहिल?
दिस knowing this issue.
Okay,
Thank
so
you,
is
sir.
there anything else you would like to?
No sir, that's it.
Okay. Okay then, Nikit, I hope you got some meaningful input from the Q&A.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, I believe we can conclude your review session.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Thank you,
yeah.
everyone.
So we'll move on. That is Bhavana.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, very good. What is your topic now?
Control structure in JavaScript.
Okay, I have your name. Please start.
Is it visible, sir?
Yeah, you can continue.
Hello, sir. My name is Bhavana Jha. Currently, I'm pursuing MCA from Patna Women's College. I joined this organization on 2nd of January as a full stack web development intern. Today, I present over here for the presentation on the topic control structure in JavaScript. So today agenda is what is control structure and what is conditional control statement, break statement, continuous statement, looping, and the references and summary of this topic. So before moving on, the main topic, what is control structure? I want you to, I want you all to know about some about the language. What is JavaScript? So JavaScript is a very popular scripting language used for web development, and it is often used with the conjunction of HTML and CSS to create interactive web pages. Here, HTML is for the layout of the web page, create the layout of the web page, and CSS for the content, styling of the content in the web page, and JavaScript is used as a behavior and the function of the web page. So in JavaScript, we have many code principles. So one of the code principles in JavaScript is control structure. So what is control structure? Control structure is a statement to decide how a program will run on a web page or shows the flow of that program. So it is also known as control statements or control structure or control flow statements in JavaScript. So we have different types of control structure in JavaScript. So these are the types of control structures. So we have conditional control statements. In conditional control statement, we have the 4 different conditional control statements, which are if statements, if else statements, if else if statements, switch case statements, and the break and continue statements are also known as unconditional statements, because in these 2 statements, we don't use any conditions. And one more type of control statements are iterative or looping control statements. And we have different types of looping statements, which are for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for in or for off loop. So we move on different types of control structure in JavaScript one by one. So first one is conditional control statements. What is conditional control statements? This statement is used when you want to perform different action for different decisions. So these actions are based on true or false. Means if your conditions is true, then the statements gets executed, and if your condition is false, then the condition gets not executed and we come out of the statements. So as we see in previous slides, as we have different types of conditional statements. So let's move on one by one. So the first conditional statements is if statements. In if statements, we have a simple if statements is given over there, in which we have some conditions. We have some expression. If this expression is true, then our expression gets executed, and there is no any other statements over there. So let's see the example of if statements. So here in this program, in this example, we take a variable name as age, in which we have assign a value of 20, and we check a condition over here. It is a simple if condition, that if age is greater than 18, then we have to print this statement qualifying for driving, and no other statements get executed. So it's checked that yes, this statement gets fulfilled, this statement, this expression is true, then this statement gets executed. So the outputs will be qualifying for driver. So let's move on second conditional statements, that is if else statements. It is a two-way decision statement. Here we have two blocks are given, if block are given and else block are given. If the condition is true, then the if block will be get executed. If the condition is false, then the else block gets executed. Here is the flow diagram of if else statements, where we have a condition over here, text expression given over here. If this statement gets true, then the body of if condition gets executed. If this expression gets false, then the body of else condition gets executed. So let's move on the example of if-else statements. Here we have a check that if the number is positive or negative, yeah, 0. So we take a input over here, and then a number where the user can enter an input and check that if this condition is for if the number is greater than 0, then this if block will get executed, and otherwise this else block will get executed. So when we enter a number as an output and we enter a number as 2, then our result will be the number is positive. This is how if else conditions will work. So let's move on third type of conditional statement, that is if else if statements. If else if statement is an advanced version of if else statements, where we have several conditions given there, and the correct one condition will get executed over here. As like you have seen that there is multiple expression given over here, and any one of the condition gets true, this statement gets executed. Otherwise, if any one of the expression is not true, then the else part gets executed. So let's move on the flow chart of this if else if statements. So here is a flow diagram of if else statements, where we have condition 1, condition 2, condition 3. If our condition 1 will be true, our condition will be fulfilled over here, then the if block gets executed. And if it is false, then we move on our second condition. Check over here. If our second condition is true, then if else if block will get executed. If our third expression if second condition will false, then our third condition gets executed. If third condition will also true, then its else if block will get executed and we come out from the program. And if these three conditions are not fulfilled, all these three conditions are false, then the else block gets executed. So let's see an example of this statement. So here we have to check a number is positive, negative, and 0 by if else if condition, where we have the two condition and one else block, where we have to check number is greater than 0, and then this output will be printed, and this condition will be checked. If number is 0, then this output will get executed. So when we enter the number will be 0, then this block, first it checks that number greater than 0. No, it's not. So we come into this statement, else if block will be executed, and the output will be number is 0. So let's move on our fourth conditional statements, that is switch statement. Switch statement is used in decision making. Whatever the decision we have to perform, we consider the switch statement. It is used to perform different actions on different conditions. For example, let's say we understand this syntax that we evaluated the expression once. We evaluate the expression once. If now the value of expression is compared with the value of each case, we compared all the value with the expression. If there is the match with the associated block, then this block of code will get executed. And if there is no match, so then the by default body gets executed. Let's understand this through a flow chart where we have an expression. If the expressions matches the condition 1, then the code of block 1 will execute it. If not matches this case 1, then it checks with case 2 that is it the right expression. So yes, then this block will get executed. If any of the cases will not matches the expression, then in switch case we have a default block where default block will be considered as an our output. So let's see as an example. Here let a is equal to 2, 2 as a variable. Here switch a as an expression we take as an expression. 2 here is our value of this variable. We have to find out in these cases. In case 1, a is 1. No, a is not 1. So we move on our case 2. Here a is 2. Yes. Then we here the statements get break where we terminate that conditions and come out through the program, and we the output will be the value is 2. This is how our switch case works. So let's move on our unconditional statements in JavaScript, which are the break statements and the continue statement. Break statements is used to terminate the loop. We terminate the program, terminate the conditional statements whenever we want to. It's we can terminate the program or we can terminate the loop entirely by using the break statements. So break statements and the continuous statement both are used with our decision making statements. In like what is our decision making statement? That is continuous statements. Sorry, in switch case we mainly use switch, and in loop we can use we can use break and continuous statement. So here the syntax of break here, label is an optional. So many cases we don't use label in a break statement. So here is an example of break statements where we have to print the value of I. Here the loop I is equal to 1, I greater than equal to 5, then will be increment will be held. So here if I is equal to 3 means the value of I will be 3. When the value of I becomes 3, then the statements then our loop will be stopped and we came out of the program and print this value on the screen. So here only the output will be 1 and 2, and the remaining value gets not printed on the screen. So move on our second conditional statement, that is continuous statement. A continuous statement is used to skip the current iteration of the loop. Means our loop is going on and we want a certain condition gets skipped from that statements from that loop, so that we can use the continuous statements. Here also it is also used for the decision making statements. So here also label is an optional for this statement. So here is an example of continuous statements where here the same program from the previous and the output will be different. Where we use the continuous statements in the place of break statement, where the output will be 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 4 5, not the 3, because what is the work of continuous statement? It skips this condition. If the value of I is equal to 3, it doesn't show on the screen. We skips this value in our output. So this is the continuous statements. This is all about the continuous statement. Let's move on our next type of control structure, that is looping and iteration control statements. What is loop? Why we use loop? Loop came into the picture when you have to perform some repetitive task, one action over and again. When you have to perform multiple actions again and again, means you have to print a masses of 100 messages on the screens, repeated task you have to do. And loop, by using loop you can reduce the number of lines of code, number of lines of code in our program. So we have different types of looping and iterative statements in JavaScript. These are for loop, while loop, for in, for off loop, and do while loop. So let's move on. What is for loop? For loop executes a block of code as long as a specified condition is true. It counts the number of iteration the loops makes, which means that if the condition, if this block of condition, a block of statements is true, then the loop gets executed, for loop gets executed. We have the three things in for loop. We have initializations, we have test condition, we have iterative statements. Let's understand it, this for loop through the flow chart, where we have an expression, initialize our expression. Initialization means we have a variable as, for example, 1, we initialize as 0 or 1, and we have some conditions over here. If this condition is true, then we come into the loop of the body. Whatever the code is written in the body, it gets executed, and the updation of the condition gets executed. Means if we have the condition that I value is equal to 5, then if this condition is true, then increment and decrement will be held on these conditions. And if the condition is false, then we came out of this loop. Our loop gets terminated. Let's see an example of for loop. Here we have to display the number, display these statements 5 times. So we took an condition n is equal to 5. Here looping, the for loops syntax will be held. So here for let I is 1, I is greater than equal to n, and I fly 5. For example, first I value is 1. So I greater than equal to n is 5. So I1 is greater than equal to 5. Yes, it is true. Then it's come into the body. So the first statements get executed. I love JavaScript. Then again, it's come and inside the loop here, and the increment will be held. Now I value is incremented by 1. Now 1 becomes 2. Now I value is 2. Now it's 2 is greater than equal to 5. Yes, it is greater than equal to 5. So here it's the condition. Sorry, 2 is less than equal to 5. Yes, so it's come into this body, and it's print that I love JavaScript. So when the condition is when the I value becomes 6 is greater than equal to 5, no, then this statement, then the loop gets terminated, and we have the output as this I love JavaScript for 5 times. So this is our for loop. Let's move on our next looping statements, that is for in versus for off loop. So basically for in loop goes through the properties of an object, and for off loop goes through the value of an iterable object. It's simple as we use for loop for the properties of an object, and for off loop is used for array or strings values. Let's see an example, then it's more clear to all. So here is an example of for off loop, where here is an array of students, and we have to print their name. So let's student Paul, Andy, and we have, this is the syntax, and this is how we for off loop gets executed. So let students of students. So here this is the variable of array. So here the output will be whatever the array is present over here, it gets printed on our output screen. That is Paul, Andy, and Reba, Aaron. So example of for now, here we have an student object where we shows the properties of the students. Student is an object over here, and these are their properties: name, GPA, age, and this is the way how we the for in loop gets executed. And if we don't use here student, then the output of this statement will be name, GPA, age. And if here we use student item, then the output is mark Redmond 3.7 and 17. This is our for in and for off loop. So let's move on. Next looping statement, that is while loop. While loop is basically an entry control loop statement. Most basic loop statements in JavaScript. So where we have a condition is given over there, and if this condition is true, then the expression gets executed and executed. If the expression is not true, then we loop gets terminated. Here one more thing, where we initialize the expression, then we check the condition, and according to the condition is true, then the increment and decrement will be happen in while loop. Let's see the flowchart of while loop, where we have the text condition. If this text condition will be false, then the loop gets terminated. If the text condition is true, then we go inside the while loop body, and again we check the condition. This is going on when this condition gets false. So this is the example of while loop. First we initialize displaying the number from 1 to 5. First we initialize the variable in a looping in while loop. So here we I took a variable I and n. First, we initialize both of them. Then we check the conditions. And if this condition is true, then we print this value, and the increment will then happen. Then the increment will happen. If this condition is true here, if the value of again the value will be 6, then this loop gets terminated, and the output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's move on. Our last looping statement, that is do while loop. Do while loop is an exit control looping statement. Means the similarity will be same as the while loop, but the only difference of between the do while loop and the while loop is here the while means here the condition will be at the last of the statements, and if there is no conditions, then the do statements will be executed at once in the whole program. If this while condition is not given, then this expression gets executed, and the only difference is that the condition will be checked at the end of the loop. In the end of the loop, the condition will be checked. Let's see the flowchart. Here the do while loop body, and if the text condition is false, then the loops terminate. If the condition is true, then it goes to the while body. So this let's see the example of do while loop. Here again I show the number, display the number. Here the initialization will be held, and do first we here this execution will be held, do and the first, if we don't use this statement while I is greater than equal to n, the statement is printed and the output will be only 1. And if the condition is given here, then the output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if this condition is not given, then the output will be 1, because this do statements will be executed once. So This is all about our looping control structures statement. So these are the references I used to prepare this PPT. And for the whole summary of this control structure in JavaScript is that it is importance to know the control structure because it's help us to show the order of execution of our program. So we have we have a good knowledge of control structure to designing a web page. So the conditional statements, we know that the conditional statement we using for to check the different conditions on different perform different actions for the different decisions on the condition of true or false, and iterative structures are used in this for to check the repetitive task, to perform the repetitive task. So that's all, and here is my demonstration. Hello everyone. I have to get the and we have to display the is and the taxing multiplication is minus multiplication of so so here it is here okay, first we have
Hello, Bhavana. Hello. Hello, Bhavana.
yes sir.
The demo was not quite audible. Can you just give a quick demo for that? Because the video, I believe, was not audible.
Is it not audible sir?
Yeah,
Okay
the
sir.
voice was breaking.
1 minute sir.
Just do the quick demo and then we will get it.
Oh, okay sir, okay sir. Hello sir, it is visible?
No, you are not sharing this.
Now it is visible, sir?
Yeah.
Hello. We have to prepare a web page where we have to show the we have to use the we have to use the conditional statements and the loop to the and look to display the result on our web pages. So we have different conditional statements and loop that we discussed in our presentation. So I prepare a simple calculator by using a switch case over here. So here we have four variable over here, that is result, operator number 1 and number 2. And here we take operator as an input. So operator here we print on our screen when we here the prompt function to display the input when we the user display the input, enter a dialog box is open and user enter the input and it's check further. So, and we take and operand as an input. So here number 1 and number 2 as an operand input. So in switch case, we have that expression over here. The expression will be the our operator. Whatever the operator we select over here, it matches the it matches from the cases. If the any of the cases will be matches these expression, the result will be shown on the screen. If any of the cases will not matches the expression, then the by default value gets printed. So here is the output of this screen. So second. Here the sorry. Is it visible, sir?
Yes.
Here we take an operator. Okay. First number will be 4 and second number will be 5, and then our output will be shown in the console that 4 into 5 is equal to 20. And I took another statements for I took another conditional statement, that is if simple if else statement where we have to check the number is odd or even. Here we take an input box for this where we have to check the number is odd and even, and we take a button check where when we click on the button check odd even, then the functions call then these function odd even will be called. In this function we have perform these things, that is we know that for even an odd calculation we have one thing, we have to consider one thing, that if the number is completely divisible by 2, then and no remainder, then the number will be even. And if the number is not divisible, completely divisible by 2, and we get some remainder, then the number will be odd. And here it's num is a variable. Here it's check if we enter a number, then it's fine. And if the we enter any string, then it shows and message that please enter a number. And then it goes to the condition to check if else if condition. If the num is completely divisible by 2 and not get any reminder, then we have the message that the number is even. And the again we shows the number is odd. We sees all these output at the same time. So first I want to explain all the code and then show the demonstration, show the result on the web page. And now I
Sorry,
perform one.
Bhavana,
Yes.
no need to explain the code, just show the demonstration.
Okay, sir. Is it visible, sir? Here,
Yes.
I perform an if condition statements where we check or number is odd and even. Here we enter 2 and it shows that the number is even. And if here check is 3, then it shows the number is odd. And I use the loop where I use a while loop for to check the number is palindrome or not. What is palindrome number? Palindrome number is simple if from the beginning and if they reverse the number, then the result will be same. For example, if 1 to 1 is a number, by starting and by reversing we get the same result, then this is the palindrome number. Let's see through that 1 to 1 is an palindrome number. Yes, it shows that it is an palindrome number. And I took one for while loop where we shows a number from 1 to 10 by using for loop, where I shows 0, 1, 2 from 9, and here the loop stopped. So this is my demonstration. So thank you. And this is my email ID, and this is my GitHub link where I upload my code. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And I'm done with my presentation.
Okay. So you have certainly improved from last time. Okay. You have improved a lot, but focus on overall delivery. Okay. Because you can't take a lot of time for it because of one simple project. Okay. So focus on overall delivery, but I would say you have improved a lot. Okay. So we'll stop here for the day. It is already 9:17. Tomorrow we have, I believe, welcome meeting for the new interns. So we'll not be having the presentation. So all the people whose presentation are remaining, you can join the next meeting when we have the presentation. So people who are left here, I can see some raised hand. You guys will not receive any kind of negative evaluation, so no need to worry about that. We'll continue from there. Okay. So thank you for joining this meeting. Thank you for your presentation. Please join the next meeting. We'll continue from here.